Hello everybody, my name is Cody bringing us yet another video, and in today's video, I'm going to do the overview of the Druid as a whole. On Saturday, I was able to get both of the subclass videos up. I was not able to get the overview of the Druid up on Sunday, but that also is just because Sundays are always a little bit trickier for me to record on, so they might start coming out on Mondays. If it isn't up on Sunday, then do expect it that as long as I got all the subclasses done on Saturday, then do expect the full overview to be out by at least at Sunday to Monday. And then it might be the full weekend of Saturday and Sunday. It might be all about D&D, so it might be the subclasses all on Saturday and then the overview on Sunday. But it also could be D&D the subclasses could be Saturday and Sunday, and then the overview could come out on Sunday or Monday. So that should be kind of the arrangement that I'm thinking, just because Mondays are always a lot easier for me to record on compared to Saturday, Sunday time. And yes, I can record ahead, but I also don't have as much time to record because I have work in school, but school is almost done, so that should be all taken care of. But if you guys want to see about the actual subclasses themselves, because if you guys do recall, then every time I go over the actual class itself, I'm just looking at what the class provides, not what a subclass is going to provide. So this is what every single druid will be getting as what they can do, not what they'll be getting from the subclasses. So if you want to see what subclasses get and what I think of all the subclasses compared to each other and just overall, then watch Saturday's subclass tier listing videos where I go over them and explain what I like and what I don't like about them. But for now, I'm going to be talking about what I like and don't like about the Druid itself. Well, not really what I like and don't like, just going over the Druid and giving my opinion from time to time on little here and there type of things. So, at level 1, your hit points is 1d8 per Druid level, so like most things, your first level is 8 plus your Constitution, and then 1d8 or 5 plus your Constitution modifier per Druid level after first level. That's something that, that is what most of the classes are getting, because a D8 is the most average die that you can get from all the different classes as a whole. So, your proficiencies, you'll be proficient in light armor, medium armor, and you'll have shields, though druids will not wear armor or use shields made of metal. Your weapons are the clubs, daggers, darts, javelins, maces, quarterstaffs, scimitars, sickles, slings, spears. So, it is very, specific weapons if you're going to be using them. Really, you'd probably be using something like a quarterstaff or like a dagger most of the time, just because, club is more of a strength based, like some of these are like strength based, and you probably want something that's a bit smaller and easier to quickly get rid of so that you can cast a spell with both hands. You also will get the Herbalism Kit as a tool. Your saving throws will be Intelligence and Wisdom, and the skills you can choose from will be Arcana, Animal Handling, Insight, Medicine, Nature, Perception, Religion, and Survival. Of course, they are all things that are kind of based around whether it is, magic related, which is with Arcana, or maybe Religion can also be seen there. Stuff to do with Nature, which is, Animal Handling. Medicine can be put in there. Nature, Perception, Survival. And then Insight is there, and so is Perception, or Perception is seen as Nature as well, I guess. So Insight is also just there. So, things that I myself would usually select in this is Insight and Perception. They're both wisdom-based things, and you are a wisdom-based character, so it is always, pretty helpful to have something to get your those stats even higher, as you're naturally going to want your wisdom fairly high. At first level, you'll get Druidic. Druidic, the secret language of druids. You can speak the language and use it to leave hidden messages. You and others who know this language automatically spot such a message. Others spot the message's presence with a successful DC 15 perception check, but can't decipher it without magic. So it's like, later on, when we get to the rogues have a secret language called Thieves' Cant. This is basically that. It is the only druids know this language, so that you can speak to other druids or leave messages to or get messages from other druids using Druidic and any others who might somehow know Druidic from other means. So there's that, and then your spellcasting, of course. Your spellcasting ability comes from Wisdom, so you'll get that. When you get to 2nd level, you'll get Wild Shape, which is kind of the whole, like the big thing of the Druid is that you're getting Wild Shape features and stuff like that. It's kind of like, the Bard's whole thing is Bardic Inspiration. The Barbarian gets Rage, Artificer gets their infusions. What you get as the Druid is the Wild Shape ability, which is starting at 2nd level. You can use your action to magically assume the shape of a beast that you have seen before. You can use this feature twice. You regain expended uses when you finish a long or short rest. Your Druid level determines the beast you can transform into, as shown in the beast shapes table. At 2nd level, for example, you can transform into any beast that has a challenge rating, which is what CR right here stands for. It does not stand for critical role. A challenge rating of 1/4 or lower than that doesn't have a flying or swimming speed. So you can turn it into something like a wolf. Once you get to 4th level, you can get to half, which can now have a swimming speed but cannot fly. So you can become a crocodile. And then at 8th level, the rating can be 1 or lower, no limitations to it, and it can be a giant eagle, for example. And then what it does is you can stay in a beast shape for a number of hours equal to half your druid level, rounded down. You then revert to your normal form unless you expand another use of this feature. You can revert to your normal form earlier by using a bonus action on your turn. You automatically revert if you fall unconscious, drop to 0 hit points, or die. While you are transformed, the following rules apply. Your game statistics are replaced by the statistics as a beast, but you retain your alignment, personality, and intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores. So this is basically just saying that whatever beast you turn into, you'll be getting their strength, constitution, and dexterity, but you will keep your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. You also regain all your skills and saving throw proficiencies, so you'll still be proficient in wisdom and intelligence saving throws, and if I chose perception and insight, so you would still be, you still have those skills, in addition to gaining those of the creature. So if the creature is also proficient in athletics and constitution saving throws, then you'll also be now proficient, while as that creature, you'll be proficient in those two things. If the creature has the same proficiency as you, and the bonus in your stat block is higher than yours, then use the creature's bonus instead. So if the creature is getting a +5 to acrobatics, and you're also trained in acrobatics, but your thing is only a +4, then you'll be using the +5 instead. If the creature has any legendary or layer actions, you can't use them. Not a lot of things at this low of things would probably have those, but in the off chance they do, because there are some, you don't get to use them. When you transform, you assume the beast hit points and hit dice. When you revert to your normal form, you return to the number of hit points you had before you transformed. So if you transformed at full hit points, and then you transform into the beast, and you get all the way knocked down to 1 hit point remaining, and you revert back to the druid itself, to your actual normal self, you'll have your maximum hit points because that's what you transformed as. However, if you revert as a result of dropping to 0 hit points, any excess damage carries over to your normal form. For example, if you take 10 damage in animal form and have only 1 hit point left, you revert and take 9 damage. As long as the excess damage doesn't reduce your normal form to 0 hit points, you aren't knocked unconscious. So it basically will knock you out of your, it is able to knock you out of the beast form, out of your wild shape, but it won't knock you unconscious. So if you have, as it says, if you have 10 hit points as your beast form, and you get reduced to 0 hit points, then you just go back to your druid form, and the excess damage will be taken onto your actual form itself. You can't cast spells, and your ability to speak or take any action that requires hands is limited to the capabilities of the beast form. Transforming doesn't break your concentration on a spell you've already cast, however, or prevent you from taking actions that are part of a spell, such as Call Lightning that you've already cast. So if the spell is already out, then you can continue using it, but if you want to try to cast a spell while in it, you cannot do that. But if the spell is already out and about doing stuff, and you're able to, as part of your turn, control it, like making another lightning bolt, moving a flaming sphere, causing damage with Witch Bolt, then you're able to do that as while in the beast form, but you couldn't make a new one. You retain the benefit of any features from your class, race, or other sources, and can use them if the new form is physically capable of doing so. However, you can't use any of your special senses, such as dark vision, unless your new form has that sense as well. So that would be something like if you're playing a Tabaxi and you have the ability to do like I can't think of what it's called, but it basically allows you to, as an action, double your movement speed for that turn. You'll be able to do that, but you won't get something such as Dark Vision unless your whatever beast you chose has Dark Vision. You choose whether your equipment falls to the ground in your space, merges into your new form, or is worn by it. Worn equipment functions as normal, but the DM decides whether it is practical for the new form to wear a piece of equipment based on the creature's shape and size. Your equipment doesn't change size or shape to match the new form, and any equipment that the new form can't wear must either fall to the ground or merge with it. Equipment that merges with the form has no effect until you leave it. So if you're a gnome who just turned into a bear, yeah, that bear probably isn't going to be able to wear your armor because, well, gnomes are a lot smaller than a bear. But if you're playing like if you're like a human or something and you're wearing leather armor and you turn into a wolf, then yeah, it might be able to kind of fit somewhat properly to actually be able to have use. So, you know, you most of the time you'll probably just be having it absorbing into yourself. So. Although this, because you can have it instantly drop to the ground, not that you actually can because you can't wear metal armor, but if there was something that was like affecting your armor itself that could be causing damage, which I'm just going to use the example, although it doesn't really work for this one because as it says here, druids will not wear armor or use shields made of metal. But if you were able to, you were having like heat metal on you or something, like maybe you have multi-class in the druid, if you're having heat metal cast on you and onto your armor, well, you can't really you can't take your armor off, but if you use wild shape and cause the armor to just fall off of you, well, now it's no longer affecting you because it is off of you. But you can also just absorb it into the new form, and technically, because it's no longer they're invisible, heat metal would stop working. And then also at second level, you get your Druid Subclass, which the options are Circle of Dreams, Stars, Wildfire, Land, where you then choose your specific land, Moon, Shepherd, and Spores. I'm just going to have Spores there just because it was over my my thing by the end of it. You get, depending on whatever thing you get benefits from that, which you can see all the miscellaneous things that you'll be getting from the subclasses by looking at the subclass tier list, where I explain all the kind of little things here and there that you're getting part of that. At third level, you'll be able to use second level spells. So there is that. That is something that you're getting at third level. So it's not useless for you. It's just granting you spells. At fourth level, you're getting Wild Shape Improvement. At fourth level, you can use your action to magically assume the shape of a beast that you have seen before with a challenge rating of half or lower, which you did see when I was going over the wild shapes as a whole. And then you can get this feature. You can use this feature twice. You regain the expended uses at a short or long rest. Nothing too changing there. Is just letting you know that your wild shape has improved from what you're getting at second level. And you also get your ASI, which every class will be getting it at the fourth level, of course. At fifth level, you're now able to use third level spells, so nothing to get from the class itself, but it is something that you're getting because of the class, because you're a spellcaster, so do make note of that. At sixth level, you're getting part of your subclass thing. You're getting Fungal Infestation for this subclass. At seventh level, you're now able to use fourth level spells, and of course, each time you're also getting more and more spells. This subclass is giving you has circle spells, so these are just things that you naturally get that do not count towards the actual prepared spells. So you'll still be able to have, as you can see, even though there are 6 prepared spells, you still have 7 spells that you can be choosing from 4th level to 1st level. So do make sure that you now know that you're getting all of those little things. At 8th level, you're getting Wild Shape Improvement, which now allows you to have a challenge rating of 1 or lower. You can use this feature twice, and you get it back at a short or long rest. You get the expended uses, and now there are no restrictions, so the beast can fly and or swim. And then you also will get a ASI improvement. So these are, of course, I did already go over the 4th and 8th level things under when I was talking about Wild Shape, but you are getting something at 4th level, and you are getting something at 8th level because of this this class as a whole. So do try to remember that each of these things are happening, even though I've gone over them at 2nd level. They don't come into effect until 4th and 8th level respective. At 9th level, you can start using 5th level spells, as with any other spellcaster, so like the cleric that I went over last week. And at 10th level, you'll be getting another thing from your subclass. This one is giving you Spreading Spores. At 11th level, you can use 6th level spells. At 12th level, you'll be getting another ability score improvement. At 13th level, you get 7th level spells, nothing else. At 14th level, you're getting the capstone of your subclass. This one is called Fungal Body. If you want to know what these do, then watch the actual subclass videos. At 15th level, you're getting the use of 8th level spells. So you also have gotten all of these by, I believe, 9th level. So as you can see, you can now start choosing from 8th level spells, and these are all Druid spells. They usually have a lot to do with animals, with summoning, with things to do with nature, so, earthquake and tsunami, sun, burst, control weather, all things to do with kind of a natural related things. At 16th level, you'll be getting another ASI. At 17th level, nothing, but you will be able to use 9th level spells. And this class is not like the cleric, where really the last thing you get is what you're getting from your subclass at 17th level. There is an 18th level ability called Timeless Body. Starting at 18th level, the primal magic that you wield causes you to age more slowly. For every 10 years that pass, your body only ages 1 year. So this one is, whatever in the most part, but this does mean that if a spell is supposed to magically age you, for every 10 years that this spell is magically aging you, it actually only affects you for 1 year. It doesn't like other classes where magical aging you just doesn't affect you. It does still affect you, but the process is divided by 10. So if it ages you by 15 years, it'll only actually age you by 1, or your body ages by 1.5 in all actuality. So it basically just allows for, your druid could potentially be, thousands of years old, but still, be relatively young because your body is only aging once every 10 years. And you also will get beast spells. Beginning at 18th level, you can cast many of your druid spells in any shape you assume using wild shape. You can perform the somatic and verbal components of a druid spell while in beast shape, but you aren't able to provide the material components. So as long as your spells don't require you to have a material component, you're able to cast them in whatever beast shape you have assumed. So this kind of takes rid of the kind of negative effect of wild shaping, which is you can't use your all of your spells and whatnot while in them, but now you can at 18th level as long as they don't need material components. At 19th level, you're not getting any 10th level spells because that's not a thing in this game, but you are getting your last ASI. And lastly, at level 20, you get Archdruid, or Archdruid, however you want to pronounce this. At 20th level, you can use your wild shape an unlimited number of times, so it is no longer limited to the minimum amount of 2 times. You can just wild shape as much as you like. Additionally, you can ignore the verbal and somatic components of your druid spells, as well as any material components that lack a cost and aren't consumed by a spell. You gain this benefit in both your normal shape and your beast shape from wild shape. So this is basically just saying that you no longer need to do the verbal and somatic components of your spells, which makes you a very stealthy spellcaster, because you can, rather than trying to use sleight of hand to weave these into conversation and stuff, you can just use them, and as long as the material component is not consumed. So if you're using something, I believe it's Revivify, needs like a diamond of 500 a diamond of 500 gold or more, and is consumed by the spell, it wouldn't do that. But if you're using something that requires like, it's like I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head, but if it's something that is not consumed and you just need to have it out in order to cast it, then you're able to use it without actually needing the material component itself. And then you can also do this while in beast shape, as your beast shape from wild shape. So that does specify your beast shape from wild shape, because maybe they're one of the subclasses. Like I will say, Circle of Stars does allow you to use the wild shape to, instead of becoming a beast, you can actually become constellations in a sense. And one of the other ones that I can't think of off the top of my head, I think it's Circle of the Moon Shepherd, or Circle of the Moon Shepherd, Circle of the Moon Druid, allows you to become elementals. Uh, this is saying that it is your beast shape from wild shape. Again, these, because some of the other ones actually allow you to cast spells naturally instead of restricting you. So this is giving you the ability to do it in beast shape and in your normal shape. You get this pretty strong ability. Next, we'll just look at the optional feature manager, which, as I always say, make sure your DM is okay with these. You can get additional Druid spells, which will basically just being at each, at certain levels, you'll get like 1 or 2 additional spells that you can start learning at that point. Like first level, you'll also learn, you can start doing protection from evil and good if you want. Second level gives you these, so on and so on, until 8th level gives you Incendiary Cloud. And of course, remember, if it has an asterisk next to it, that is probably because it is from a certain book. So, the asterisk here for Summon Beast is because of Tasha's Guide. Summon Fey and Summon Elemental, those are because of, Tasha's Guide or Xanathar's Guide. So, if this is allowed, then go ahead and just select it right there. You also can get Wild Companion at 2nd level. You gain the ability to summon a spirit that assumes an animal form as an action. You expend a use of your Wild Shape feature to cast a Find Familiar spell without material components. When you cast the spell this way, the familiar is a Fey instead of a beast, and the familiar disappears after a number of hours equal to half your druid level. So rather than using the wild shape to turn yourself into something, you can use your wild shape to gain a familiar for a temporary time that is of Fey descent, essentially. And then you also can get cantrip versatility, which is something that all of the spellcasters are getting. All the spellcasters will be getting the additional druid spells, or additional blanked spell, additional cleric spell, additional wizard spell, just depending on whatever class you are. And then cantrip versatility, which is that whenever you get an ASI, you can change your cantrips if you'd like one cantrip for another one. So there's that. The spells that you can be getting, you'll be getting 4 cantrips at this point, and then, they'll all be from these things, which are basically all to do with nature and druidic related things, such as, druid craft, infestation, poison spray. They're all things to do with nature and nature-based things. First level and everything else, they're all based on things to do with nature, true resurrection, storm, shape change, which is the whole point of the druid, foresight, as that is part of what druids are known to be able to do from time to time. So those are all the nifty little things, and how many spells you can have prepared is based on your level, so whatever level it is, plus your wisdom modifier. So you're getting 20, your wisdom modifier is 6, you can have 26 prepared spells. And then, if you're a wizard, then you can have wizard level plus intelligence. If you're a cleric, it is also level plus wisdom. If you're a sorcerer, it's wisdom plus charisma, so on and so on. Other than for some other things would be like if you're a half caster, such as a ranger, a warlock, a paladin, and certain subclasses for martial classes, such as the arcane trickster for the rogue, or the eldritch knight for the fighter subclass, for this fighter class. So I'll go over those when I actually get to that point. So fun little things here and there as just some nice little things. But that is the druid. I have like a while back, a little over a month ago at this point, if I'm not mistaken, I did rate all of the classes that are not like ranking them against each other, because you can't really rate, you can't really rank the druid compared to, the cleric, as they serve different purposes. You can't rank the barbarian against the fighter because they have different purposes and different abilities. So you can't really rank them there, but I do rank them and go, kind of talk about them and my opinions on all of them from myself. They're not ranked against each other. It is just my personal preference for each class, So you might say that the druid is an S class. I myself am not too big of a fan of a druid. If I'm going to play a spellcaster, a full spellcaster, it's usually like a bard, a sorcerer, or a wizard. But there's nothing, I'm not slandering druid. I'm not saying that you should never choose a druid. If you want to play a druid, go ahead. You can also see what the subclasses are so that you can know what you're getting into with each subclass. So, do watch those videos if you want to know my opinion on all those miscellaneous little things that you get from time to time. But that'll do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, then consider hitting the like button and commenting down below what you guys did enjoy so that I can continue doing it to continue making the videos as well as I have been. If you guys didn't like the video, then go ahead and dislike it and comment down below what you didn't like so that I can improve upon it and make the videos better for y'all. If you guys want to know when I upload, then the best way to know is by subscribing. But that does it for this video. Until next time, bye guys.